if organizations will frown at managers who will maltreat their subordinates, what do you think will happen to God? How do you think God will see a man, how God will see a husband who will deliberately maltreat his wife? So, as a husband, as a man, when you maltreat your wife, when you treat your wife unfairly, unjustly, when you treat your wife without honor, when you abuse her, when you neglect her, I'm not sure you know what you are doing to yourself. Hello everyone and welcome back to Transforming Marriages with Uju Onwuzulike. As usual, I'm thrilled to be your host today. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about something that relates to maltreating of women. And I titled it, As Husbands, When You Maltreat Your Wife, This Happens to You. So let's go back to organizations. Over the years, I have had the opportunity to consult for and train organizations in many continents. And one thing I discovered is that the CEOs of these organizations, they usually frown at managers that maltreat their employees, their subordinates. For example, if a manager sexually assaults a lady, organizations frown on that, and that automatically will lead to dismissal. And in some situation or so, when someone is due for a promotion and a manager decides not to promote that person for his or her selfish reasons, when the management gets to know about that situation, that manager will likely to be demoted, and of course, the right person will be promoted. So in all this, you will see that organizations truly frown at managers maltreating their subordinates, treating their subordinates unfairly. So the question is, if organizations will frown at managers who will maltreat their subordinates, what do you think will happen to God? How do you think God will see a man, how God will see a husband who will deliberately maltreat his wife? So, as a husband, as a man, when you maltreat your wife, when you treat your wife unfairly, unjustly, when you treat your wife without honor, when you abuse her, when you neglect her, I'm not sure you know what you are doing to yourself. You are using your hand to invite a consequence which you might not be able to handle. And to show you how God seriously takes this situation where a man will deliberately maltreat his wife, to show you how God takes it, how God hates it, how God dislikes it, how God wouldn't want that to happen. He specifically wrote that in his word. And I want you, as a man, as a husband, watching this video, I want you to visit 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. When you visit that place, you will notice something. You will notice that God takes that matter seriously. And as a matter of fact, God wants us to honor our wives because they are the weaker vessel. And God said, when you do not do that, when you do not honor your wife, when you maltreat your wife, God says, that will make your prayers not to be answered. There are so many ways men do that to their wives. There are so many ways that they dishonor their wives. And one of these ways they do that is when they cheat on their wives. A lot of men do not know that when they cheat on their wives, they are dishonoring their wives, and that is the highest form of disrespect you can give to your wife. And when you do that, no matter what you do, no matter how you pray to God, God is saying to you today that I'm not going to answer your prayer. I'm going to close my ears to those your prayers as long as you are praying to me and you're dishonoring your wife by cheating on her. So God is saying to you that I'm not going to answer you those prayers, no matter how hard you pray. So you can see what is truly happening to some men today. And this is why you will see a lot of men suffering from one form of diseases to the other, suffering from one form of attack to the other, suffering even in their businesses, doing poorly in their businesses. And this is one of the major reasons, because they are cheating on their wives, because they are dishonoring their wives when they do that. So when you don't stop doing that, no matter how hard you pray, no matter who you meet to pray for you, no matter how powerful that man of God is, and he prays for you, and you are dishonoring your wife, the Bible is saying that your prayers will not be answered. So why would you do something that will lead your prayers to be hindered? I'm not sure you want to do that. And let me also say this to you. When you are dishonoring your wife by cheating on her, or by abusing her, or by neglecting her, and when she prays for you as well, her prayer will not be answered, because God will not answer such a prayer. And in some instances too, your wife will not even pray for you, especially when she finds out that you are cheating on her. Normally, your wife is supposed to pray for you. And I said this to men. One of the prayers that work the most for you is that prayer prayed for you by your wife, by your spouse. But a lot of times, your wife will not say that prayer for you. A lot of times, your wife will not pray for you because she's very aware that you are cheating on her. Will you expect a wife that you've been abusing to pray for you? Will you expect a wife that you've been maltreating to pray for you? She will never pray for you. So when you maltreat your wife, you are depriving her of the ability to pray for you. Because when she prays for you as your wife, God listens to such prayers. In this situation, she will not only not pray for you, even when you pray, God will not answer you, because you have maltreated your wife, because you have been treating her unfairly, because you have been unkind to her, and you have been doing all these things deliberately. I also know some men, because they have economic powers, they feel that they can do anything they want. But I'm here to tell you that you cannot do anything you want to your wife. And when you do it because you are the man, you feel you can do anything. When you do that, you are incurring the wrath of God. And one way God will deal with you is to block all your prayers. So in this video, I want to tell you to refrain from maltreating your wife. I want to tell you to refrain from treating your wife unjustly. I want to tell you to refrain from cheating on your wife. Because when you cheat on her, you are not even cheating on her. You are cheating on yourself. And I know you wouldn't want to do that. So till I see you next, keep supporting your spouses to be the best version of themselves. And don't do things that will block your prayers. Don't do things that work against you. Treat your wife lovingly. Treat your wife the way Christ wants you to treat your wife. Christ wants you to love your wife the way he loves the church. That is the foundation. That is what he expects from you. I wish you all the best. Enjoy the journey of your marriage.